Hi everybody. It seems like this one's going to be part 3. Wasn't planning on doing that. Just had a unaware activity that happened. So I need to check something real quick. Hi everybody. So yeah, this is really cool because I just got a pendulum in the mail that I've been looking at, and it's one that opens up. And I have oil in it, so I'm not going to open it up in this video, but you can basically turn it to the side and you can open it up by turning it, and then it does unswivel, and it's really cool. This is close to the one that I would really prefer, which would be the life one, the flower of life one, that it's ultra, that would be gold and ultra vibrant. But I got other ones that are coming in orgonite that are going to be pendulums that are with the flower of life design within it, and it's square. It's connected to the cube connection of I consider them Metatron cube type, but flower of life cube, which is basically connected to Metatron. So just go with this. I'd want a combination of one that would do Metatron's cube and flower of life and Tesla coil with it connection, so that it has all of that. But basically, when you do a pendulum, and I'm not gonna say that I'm completely all about it, but you focus on what you want, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm focusing, and I tell it, bring abundance to all that watch, and myself, bring it. Now, use your intention, believe that it'll work, forgive the doubt of my ability to do it and yours and everything, and just trust that it will work somehow. And it will magically bring abundance of all areas and things you so desire for you individually and for others watching. And you do it, first you swing it. I already dipped it in the water, so it's already there. So now, and the water that I dip it in is always frequency updated from the singing bowl, Tibetan singing bowl that's in there, and it's 528 hertz and others. But I did a lot of frequencies around here, so the pendulum, I know, can feel that through my hand and through my soul and connect with my field, and yours and your intention, and it will help us equally. So focus and say, okay, bring us abundance, health, wealth, happiness, provide this. And it's mostly close to 100% copper, but it has other metals with it, so it has vibrant of different stuff. So love what it is, regardless what connectivity, but it has a lot of connectivity to it. So just trust in your heart, feel it, hold it, and it shall. Now you just let it spin. And then they say that when it goes side to side, your wish has been granted. And look how fast that was. That's because I put really high vibed oil inside it too. Lavender and abundance oil with frankincense, a whole bunch of others. Citrus types, just a whole bunch of positive abundance. And it was positive charged oil too. So yeah, our wish is going to be granted as soon as our energy connects, and it seems like it did it really fast for us. And I was like, wow, I wasn't prepared for that. That was really cool. So, and you can have it go the way you want it to. So if you feel like it needs to go the other way, look, it's going the other way too. So it's going both ways. Use your intention of your mind. Whatever way you think it needs. It did both. It did it all. So it did what all our frequency connections, and so spiritual, non-spiritual, whatever. Here's how this works. This is what I wanted to bring up in this video, is the spiritual. So you connect with your physical, strengthen your physical, and then after you strengthen your physical with whatever you feel you can, then you do things that build up your muscle or protein or things you have that help with that. And then the more pure, the more best that you feel as pure as you can forgive whatever isn't, bless everything regardless what you take in. And your water, everything, love it, bless it, heal it, whatever. And then you connect. Once you connect, it will be very simple. You just trust that you connected. So now you're connected. Now the next thing that you would do would raise up your vibes to the point where you feel, you do meditations, you do the singing bowls, you do all the different crystals, all the different healing, shadow frequency healing, blah, 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 God bless, God bless, God bless, type stuff. And do it the way that you think and correct it if I'm doing it wrong in your eyes or for you. Heal us all, bless us all. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Love, love, love. Heal, heal, heal. And then the next thing to do is, I'm just trying to do this really quickly because this one's going to be about 12 minutes because of the other video needing to cut off at that time. And so what is impressive, which is good because then I was able to use the pendulum, which I've been waiting for. And so it's awesome. So now you build up your powerful heart and your soul and you go, okay, now I'm going to do this movement or this thing or this certain thing that I feel I need to do, or I'm going to connect and use this to massage me or get one of these, or if I don't have, I'll do something that I do have and use that and do whatever, acupuncture, acupressure, whatever, vibe pen, whatever you feel is needed that you have on hand. Massage it, love it, talk to yourselves, tell yourselves, do all of that. I have a lot of information that I that I say on Twitter. Everything I tell everybody is free. The only thing that would probably not be free, but it kind of is, would be to buy the book I have. But I did it as low as I could for ebook, and then the others, because it prints, just helps me pay off what I already put into it. And it's an old book anyway that I read on free on here, and maybe I'll do it again sometime when I have time and go back to it and read it and write a whole new form of book at the time if I decide to, or if we're in a world where we need to do things like that, or should, or decide to and can. The whole thing is until we know what is manifested for our needs, we need to do what we got to do for us right now. So I'm just going to focus on me, and your heart and all our hearts is equal. Okay? That's what we all are. We're all equal. We're all blessed. We're all loved, regardless of what we've chosen and decided. Equality is powerful, but it's the heart equality. It's not you need to be this way or that way. It's healing and letting others be them and you be you, but then healing and blessing and do what you know you individually should do. Forgiving what others are choosing to do, and trust that they are doing what they need to do for their path and they'll get to where they need to go, rather than thinking the other way. So we need to start building up our vibes and building up people, forgiving their failures and their flaws or what you think is wrong or that they're being deceived in, and realize that we need to let that idea go, to heal, to shift, to change. No more mark of the beast type stuff. No, none of that. Stop it. Raw, natural form. Heal it all. Bless it all. If you want to do those things, that's for you, but don't press it on others. Don't expect it on others. We need to learn and then separate. And so the more you push the other, the more you're going to cause wars and more destruction, and more enslavement and more harm. We want to heal that. Get rid of that. Change it. Become the warriors you are on all sides, all vibrational forms. So balance them all. And so that's what I am. I'm the balancer. I'm the be negative, divine, be negative. I've already been through enough horror. I don't need more of that. None of us do. So my purpose is to be a master healer, divine master healer, where I have divine knowledge somehow, and I finally figured it out. Well, what we can do is we can exercise our mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and metaphysical abilities. So when you balance I may have to do another video here. When you do your metaphysical booster, or I'll do this video a little bit longer maybe. When you do the metaphysical focuses or connections, guess what happens? When you do a metaphysical connection, you first have to spiritually connect. So what's the difference between spiritual connection and metaphysical connection? Aren't they the same? Not to some. Metaphysical is just the power conduit use, and some will define it differently, but this is how I take it. And this is what I've gotten drawn to. And I'll get drawn to others. And it means the other stuff that others say it is too, to some degree. But if it's negative, low vibe way of thinking it, or saying it's got to be this way and only this way, then it's not that way to me. And I'll disagree. Because it's got to be positive to me, positive healing. So when you think of the spiritual and metaphysical, you can think of metaphysical and spiritual as negative. You can also think of it as positive. I choose to optimistically positive, high vibe focuses on everything and forgive the rest. And so what we can do is we can say, okay, first we need to physically enhance our mindset, get us into the balance to feel strong and to be able to supercharge ourselves. So now we're supercharged spiritually and physically, and now we can mentally focus on what's needed and have insight. After you do that, then you want to focus on manifesting the focus, right? But some don't like manifesting. They don't think it's the way to do it. Well, after you've already physically and mentally connected, you connect to the spiritual connection, meditate, connect to do the frequencies, self-ego frequencies, do all the things that I did earlier. And then even this, doing these, and then connect with all of that. Now, when you connect with every form of those connections, the next thing that you would do is you go towards what you feel you should. So I move my hands a lot because I like to, and it gets me. It's just the way I am. It's the way I was taught. Talking with your hands and connecting. I think it's an energy response too, and it's not really that great at sign language, but I've learned a little sign language growing up. But having a bent hand, it's not as easy for me to do it. But it's okay. The bent hand and all of that is healed now. It's going to be healed soon. Med beds, to me, it's not med. It's light bed machine frequency healing and correction. And then we can do it with spiritual connection as well with it. And connect with good vibes, high vibes, healing. Now, the other thing is I'm so impressed because it's healing my whole body system, my metals, everything. It's correcting them and teeth and all of that. And it's vibrating me to the point where I just had to. And so now it's healing that because it's making the blood flow. When you exercise, you blood flow your body system and it gets oxygen to go throughout your body. So when you feel like you have no food or drink or whatever, do what you have and then exercise and do that. And then my parents taught about this idea that you should go and just exercise even if you don't have food, and then you'll have water there or drinking fountain or other, find a stream, go do those and do that. And originally physically it messed with my shoes or other things, and it was because I was out of balance, and maybe the metal and other stuff tried to, but if I spiritually balance myself with the physical, after I do the physical with the mental, do the spiritual first, like meditation, prayer, do things that bring you joy, then do the physical, then helps your mental get back on track, then heals, and then you can have insight. Then after you do your particular focus of what you feel you should do what you can. Don't push yourself too hard, do what you feel you should, you're ready for, that fire in your heart that protects you. Then go towards the other, and do it wherever you're at. If you feel like you're trapped and you can't go anywhere, you're not ever able to do anything because no one will let you, then do it where you're at. There's a lot of shows. One of my favorite shows that I really liked was Hidden Kingdom. And it was about this boy that gets bullied by these guys that know a little bit of martial arts, and they're bullies, gang individuals. But he learns from this guy who's somewhat karate guy, and it's Jackie Chan, of course, an older version of him, and he has this really cool golden stick, and it's supposed to go to the Monkey King. And a lot of people know many different variations of Monkey King, the evil, the good, the whatever. This is the good one. So this is the story of the good form of them. And so one of the versions. And so this is where the Monkey King is not really good or bad. This is what he wants, and he's kind of a trickster, but he's also a good being. He's just fun, loving. And he can be evil too, and there's forms of him that have been. But it's just, basically, it brings up the idea of your chi, your connected energy. So you need to balance and find out what you are and what you want to be. And when you don't choose either and you're more balanced or whatever, you can do pretty much anything. Well, when he went to the heavens, he was supposed to have the elixir, and the bad guy didn't let him have it and tricked him, and then he got turned into stone. But he separated a piece of himself that was still around, that would live, from a piece of his hair. This is interesting because this is kind of connected in Loki. This is in a lot of lore in all the different religion groups, and they don't like to be considered the same, but they all have similarity story connections, and maybe it's because they're all connected from an ultimate story connection that are reincarnation forms of the same story into different cultural, so that all will fit as a puzzle piece for the Golden Age when it's ready, or Aquarius Age that we're supposed to be going into and already have been in. And so what is happening now is we're shifting in, but by the 27th of March should be the noticing that we're in the Aquarius Age, possibly if we're going by the Charlie Freak connections, March 22nd being the new year. But then I've also heard the 18th and 28th being the new year connection towards the Boyd Guide or some other dudes. They don't quite say it, but they kind of hint as if it could be that way. And even if they didn't notice they said it, I caught on to it. It's connected to the Noah story and other stuff, as well as Moses story and other things. Well, there's a lot going on, but by the end of April, or by the end of this, there's a lot of connections. So most people are feeling by the end of April but want it sooner because of what's going on. And so what we can do is now we're vibing up high now. And for me, I've had to kick into high gear and do what I feel to strengthen me, my mind, body, and spirit. And now I've just become really strong with the new connections. I've connected, I activated it, and I'm doing some form that I've always knew I needed to, but now I'm doing it because I have to. And they don't like that when I get to this point, the bad guys, the cabals, because when I get to this point, it will mess with their system strongly, and they know it will. Well, they just pushed me into it. So now I'm into the point where I'm at the readiness to do what I'm here for. And they're scared. They're going to be scared at this, even if they act like they're not, even if they don't know what it is, and they're going, oh yeah, sure, ha ha ha, yeah, sure, or yeah, right. No, it's going to be powerful, and I have other angel beings backing me to a point. And then once I'm either gone or ready for this power, it's going to do one thing or another. Either I'm going to be gone, or I'm going to be okay and ascend. Either way, I'm going to be okay on my next journey. It's fine. I'll start where I left off. It's going to be powerful. All I know is I figured out the balance. Exercise the way you can. Mentally, physically. And then this is the next thing to do. So I'm doing this video a little bit longer purposely. We can now manifest desired outcomes. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be ultimately powerful, everyone. So what I'm going to be able to do is, what I'm already starting to, is I've connected to things that are now coming into my life, or doing what I can with things that don't connect. It's going to get to the point where I become a lot like Christ's connection. But to the point of what other connections, not just Christ, all the others. So in that show, Hidden Kingdom, it brings up where Jet Li's in it too, and he's actually the Monkey King. And then Jackie Chan's another guy who's friends with the boy. Teaches him, helps him have movies and learn kung fu from movies. and he loses a little bit of kung fu from the old guy he brings up or learns. But he's not supposed to use it on others unless he really has to. And so this is where it gets to the point where you train yourself to do your own form of spiritual defense, power, physical, whatever. And your past life connection will remind you of any physical knowledge you've had in other lifetimes. If you've learned kung fu in other lifetimes, it'll come out of you and you'll have it. And you'll just be able to bring it out of you anytime if required. But you'll be able to do other things if not. If you're weak or unable to, what is about? It's about the energy within you, chi energy. You don't need to fight. You need to heal, bless. Do that is my purpose. But the other will be there if I need to then come out at the purpose. And if I die through it, then great. Then I'll be done. And the joke will be on them because now I get to be where I need to go. And you can ascend either from dying or non-dying. It doesn't matter. You can. Most people want to do it from non-dying, and same for me. I was told I wouldn't die from higher self, that I would be okay. But if I did, that it would be okay. It would be awesome either way. And I'll be protected, and those who harmed or did those things that could have helped will wish they would have. But all will be healed. All will be blessed. No one's going to go to where they don't want to. And so that's what's great about this. This is what's going to happen. So what I'm doing now is, now that I've boosted myself doing those things, you connect with your spirit energy, your spiritual. So spiritual and metaphysical, the ways that they're different is spiritual is through you do spiritual prayer, focuses, shows, scriptures, reading, ritualistic, non-ritualistic focuses of heart that you feel you're supposed to. Conditionalize or unconditionalize. Love, whatever you think it has. And then that's the focus you should do, because that's what you're drawn to. And then see others as if they're already doing it, and they will. But if you don't think that's the way it works, then that's on you. That's your choice to put limitations on it, and that's okay. You're doing what you feel you need to do for you and your limitations. Do what matters, and you'll be okay. But make sure you forgive yourself, forgive others as much as you feel you can, and bless them all. Unconditional love is what I do. Love them in whatever way you can. Bless them in every way, as if they already are. And if that's hard to do, just bless them. Trust that God will bless them with what they can be blessed, whatever it is. Don't put any stipulations or barriers on it. If you think others are, forgive them doing that, bless them that they're not. And maybe they're not, and you think they are, and you just got to bless for your heart. Just love them like you already have. If you feel you already have, then you already have. You're doing good. Good job. Now, the next thing is encourage yourself. Do better. Don't just stay where you're at. Become more. And do what you can with what you feel you can do and what you're comfortable or able to. But if you get pushed to the point where you have, then stand up and do what's got to do. And then be aware of what could happen. But heal it as any damage occurs. Do what you can, do the new knowledge, and do what you got to do for you. And do what you feel you're okay to do. Never compromise what you think you shouldn't compromise. So for me, I do oils, natural oils, all that. If all of that disappeared, I would follow my inner heart. I would do whatever I can and still go for the natural things that show up around me. I would do what Daniel had to do when he was in the lion's den. I would do what Joseph of Egypt had to do in prison, and others had to do, where they chose not to eat certain foods that they were put to eat. They said, no, it's got to be mine. And they wouldn't take a no for an answer. It's either they die or they get what they need. No tricks, no trickery systems. And if they realize it's a trick, they'll throw it up and they'll say, this isn't it. And they'll notice it. They'll notice it. And that's what's interesting about these guys. And so this is what it's all about. Healing the energy, smelling it, noticing it, feeling it, and going towards it. High vibed, not trick vibe. The next thing that you can do is, once you find out you've been tricked, then you reverse and you don't go for it anymore. You go for something else once you know it is. Be grateful you know it is now. and change and adapt to what you know you should do and go there. So that's how that works. So this is just an interesting connection that I realized, that the spiritual, you do all the spiritual things. The metaphysical connection, some people say, well, what's the difference between metaphysical and spiritual? Metaphysical is a metaphysical, creational, meta-electronical connection to the meta-directional, vibrational type of thinking science. And vibrational biofield connection to it is how I define it as, or connect with it, or mean it as. And even if that's not what it is, that's how I do it. I talk and express in a dyslexic way of expression that many may not get, because I'm about the vibrational responses of phrases and things, not of what I vibe to it and try to explain it in, rather than what it may actually mean to some, or define it as, because there's so many changes and words within words and blah, 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 and all sorts of stuff. So what it is about the heart energy. Connect with that. Now, the next thing you can do is, once you know what is happening, become stronger, do the things, heal, love yourselves, love the things that are responding negatively in your body, massage them, love them, heal them, do things that you've done before that correct it. And if others are manifesting you to do certain things, forgive. If they say, oh, see, I'm controlling him, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, you're not. You may think you are, and you may be able to a degree, but I will win in the end, because I am going to do exactly what my heart tells me, and I'll find a way out. And there's just too many games and too many tests and too many tricks that people want to keep rehashing and redoing. We need to heal and let that all go. Correct it all. Let it flow out of your system. Let it be gone. It can't live with you. It can't be part of you anymore. Even if it tries, it will heal and mend. You are mended. You are blessed. You are loved. So the next direction is this. This is what I love. So it's going to be impressive. The next direction is realizing the spiritual builds up the metaphysical power. Spiritual power builds up the metaphysical power, so the physical response in the world that you're in can change from within to the outside to be that way. Manifest miracles, manifest healing, manifest desired outcomes. Manifest it. And it manifests. And so if you don't like the idea of manifesting, you want it to be God that does it, then just do grace frequency, grace focuses, grace love. Say, I bless with grace, I ask for grace, I bless for grace. That's divine intervention. And then whatever is divine will be there for you, and they'll do it for you. And they'll do it within the timing you think is the God timing, or the connected timing that you require or think has to happen for you or others. But the more you delay that timing, and you blame it on others on why it is, that's bad energy. It's negative energy. That's not positive. That's the low vibe energy. Focus. Forgive yourself for that. Forgive others for that. Bless others and put doubts aside on everybody, and just bless it with equally as each other. So when you build up that physical and you're living up the ladder, you have to, or you get put into that position, that's when you have your power back. That's when you've been freed. Now, there are people that have been thrown in prison. So in the kingdom, he gets beat up by these boys, but then he somehow ends up transporting into the dimension of the hidden kingdom with the stick. And he goes into the hidden system that he didn't know was there. And then he learns connections there. Silly ones, fun ones, balanced knowledge. And then he becomes the fullness of self. When he wakes up out of it, he's still on the street corner where he was, but then he realizes he has the knowledge of the kung fu he just learned. And then he uses it on these boys that are trying to kill him, harm him, destroy him. He's able to wake up, stop them, and free. And then save his boss, who he finds out is the immortal connected individual, just from a different realm connection. So that's how it works, guys and gals, and all forms of beings. We all can do it from within with the spiritual connection power. We are that power. So when you build up your spiritual, do the physical, then do spiritual again. It helps your mental. Your mental focus helps you get to the spiritual focus. Then do all the other physical that you can, that you feel comfortable doing or safe doing. Then do some breathing. You're going to do a lot of breathing. And then go that you feel you can. And then you get stronger and you get better. You heal, you mend. And then you boost what you feel will boost or can be. And then you metaphysically create. You build up the spiritual, you pray, you meditate, you do all the singing bowls, whatever, frequency, tuning forks, whatever. Frequency generator connections for the frequencies that way. Whatever you feel you can. Crystal bowls, singing bowls, whatever, Tibetan bowls, whatever. And you raise your vibes. And then guess what's next? You ascend. You ascend to the higher form of self. You become the form of you that you already have been, and you forgive and you bless. Tell your water, tell your food you love it. I love you. I love you. I bless you. Bright abundance. Tell it what you desire. Think it, speak it, tell it, forgive it. Yourself, forgive it for what you don't say or what you feel may not be understood, but it heals your vibes, fills your vibes, even if you don't say it perfectly. It's okay. You're blessed. Now you're healed. Now you're balanced. Keep doing this and go towards what brings you joy. Enjoyment, focus, build up your vibes. But when you get thrown out or you're locked in or whatever, do what you can with what you got. Boil your water, bless everything. Do whatever you can. And then watch it manifest. And you will be so strong from this that you'll endure. And then what you want will show up. That's what I've noticed before, but that's what we need to now do. Equally together. Now I bless all of us and myself. We're all good. So there you go. That's how it works. And so this video was a little bit longer than I was planning, but it's good. We are important. We matter. We bless. We love. We are. And you've already been blessed at the beginning of the video with this, another video that I did, and with other things that I did with frequency, the first one. I love you all. I bless you all. It's time. We're going to manifest our desired outcomes soon. And yeah, so your spiritual builds up your metaphysical and it builds up the rest and your mental and other stuff. So doing all of that will be good. I'll do another video later to try to bring this down a little bit more. But bless you all. Take care.